Let me ask you this. Have you ever put something off for so long you weren't even sure where to begin? I mean, fear just builds up in us, right? When I look back, it's been a while since I've put out a podcast. This is Hillary Baggett, host of Hill Talks, now the Midlife podcast. In case you're listening for the first time, I'll play a snippet from my intro from before. Welcome to Hill Talks, the podcast. When you listen in, you'll know you're not alone. I'm your host, Hillary Baggett, and I'm glad you're here. Well, I've been working on rebranding, renaming, getting new colors, fonts, logos, writing workshops, creating summits, trying to run the Community Bloom membership. Yeah, it's a lot. The most success has been in overcoming the fear. And whatever it is that we are avoiding, the best question we can ask ourselves is, what am I afraid of? So I'm an occupational therapist turned entrepreneur, and I have a clear purpose. And I want to help women find the confidence, the clarity, the positive mindset to share experiences, inspiration, and generate great focused and direct our energy so we can seize the impact and live our purpose. You might call that being a social entrepreneur, but many people have difficulty saying they are an entrepreneur. It simply means you have an idea and you want to turn it into maybe a business, maybe a hobby. Just 8 months ago, I could not have called myself an entrepreneur, but I'm glad that I can now. So as I kick off this 4th season, I'm trying to be human. I'm listening, reading, watching, and learning a lot. I still have FOMO, the fear of missing out. I still have ADHD, the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's not that I can't sit down, even though I don't, but it's really that my brain is always going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I'm going to learn to use that as a zone of genius or superpower so that I can help other women to move their business forward. What is it that you are looking for in your next chapter of life? What's your great purpose? What sparks joy or puts a smile on your face? Let's keep it simple, right? So I'm curious, if you had a burning passion or felt like you were put on this mission, what would it look like for you? Well, not everybody has that clarity. Sometimes it's helpful to come together and brainstorm it. Sometimes it's helpful to just meet someone else who's maybe just one step ahead of you. Maybe you can borrow the courage that it seems like others have. Well, that's the inspiration behind creating this Women's Midlife Network. I just want women to know that they can do that next hard thing, whether it's starting a podcast, whether it's writing a workshop, giving an interview, whether it's learning some new technology. These are the things that can overwhelm us for sure. I just wanted to give you a minute there to pause, because I suspect there might be something that just came to your mind and you said, there's no way I could ever do blank. Well, let's look at that blank together. For me, it was I could never write a book or start a podcast or build a website or grow a membership community. Do I do them all perfectly? Definitely not. But the thing is, I have faced so many fears, and instead of holding myself back, I am taking one small step forward regularly, nearly every day, and there are days that I take time off as well. So I wonder, as we move into this season 4, what would you like to hear from in a podcast? I would love for you to follow me, subscribe on Apple or Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, Wherever you listen, that would be super helpful. And you know what I really need? For you to write a review. That would be super helpful. I'm trying to merge the Facebook pages for Community Bloom in the Women's Midlife Network and Hill Talks podcast, but it's a hard task for sure. So, if you were to imagine that one really hard thing, and then close your eyes and imagine that there is someone across that great abyss that says, hey, I'm going to build you a bridge, and I'm going to show you how to get there one step at a time. Would you listen to them? Would you take a leap of faith and hope that the net appears, or that the bridge is going to be built by the time you take your first step? Well, that's what we're hoping to do together. We have written workshops. We have created summits on self-care, which means a series of self-care tips and advice and interviews from our members. And inside Community Bloom, there are women who have changed their whole career path. What they're doing now does not look anything like what they've done the previous 25 or 30 years. And this is a good thing, because moving forward is what gets us unstuck. If you feel overwhelmed, you're not alone. If you feel anxious, you're not alone. And what I learned recently when I was listening to, I think it was somewhere between the Brené Brown Atlas of the Heart and talking about worry is an emotion we feel when we're concerned about something. Fear is what we feel when we believe we are in danger. It can be real or perceived. And anxiety is our physiological response to whatever it is we are worried or afraid of. Next time you're feeling afraid, just notice how short your breaths are, how shallow, how short the exhale and inhale are. Notice when your heart seems like it's pounding, or when your eyes are kind of darting back and forth, as if there might be a tiger chasing you. Or it may just be noticing the muscles in your neck tighten, or that pit in your stomach or lump in your throat. That's how you know that your body is trying to tell you something. So we can control from the outside through our breath. And I would love to do a series on breathing, but there are so many ways that by practicing our breath, we can actually reset our entire nervous system, that sympathetic fight, flight, or freeze. And it seems like it would be helpful. But if you could reset your fight, flight, or freeze when it comes to, I want to try something new, where would you go first? I know for me to start, I would ask around and ask my friends, maybe those who have already been through it. Midlife is defined as the ages between 40 and 60, and there's really a great range. Some women can start feeling different symptoms of perimenopause as early as their mid-30s, and so that's why getting this information out there is so important. But I would ask friends who have maybe already been there, and I would do some research, and I would get lost and distracted in all the research. So my encouragement to you is to maybe tune in to this next series that I'm going to do. I've interviewed our founding members, and you're going to hear a little bit about their stories and what made them pivot into the profession or hobby or career that they're in. The fascinating stories will give you something to ponder. Are you curious about writing for a blog? Do you want to know more about essential oils? Would you attend a workshop to make your homemade, all-natural skin and hair care products? Do you want to get better sleep? Do you want to figure out how to be less stressed? Or if you are a woman in midlife and you want to go natural with your balancing your menopause symptoms, we have resources for you. The bottom line on fear is to know that you're not alone. There are people out there like me willing to help, support, answer questions. You can do a discovery call and we can chat. You can figure out, am I a good fit for you? And let me know what your questions are. Let me know what your fears are. I'll post a question over on the Community Bloom Facebook page. I'm definitely curious. Let's move forward together. Because your time has come. Know that for sure. I hope you're subscribed to our list at info@communitybloom.org so you can get the special discounts on our workshops and special networking mixers. Sometimes it's 25 to 50% off. And don't worry, I really don't like sending a lot of emails, so sign up and join us. Now's the time, and share with your friends. Thanks so much. Follow us on Facebook at Hill Talks Podcast and Community Bloom. Free subscriptions for all podcasts on Apple, Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, and wherever you get your podcasts. This is Hillary Baggett with Hill Talks Podcast. Listen in and know you are not alone. And Community Bloom, the Women's Midlife Network. Music is March of the Dragonfly by Belmont Club. And as always, we hope you hear the love. Until next time.